Carburation introduced the new 625 CFM Street Demon carburetor to the hot rod community on May 25th, 2012. But before its launch, Demon produced 25 pre-production units for independent testing and evaluation. One of the first installations and road tests occurred at 2141 Hilton Drive, Gainesville, North Georgia, a hot rod tuning shop known as ASAP. Demon Carburation's Scott Whitmer now performs the Street Demon installation and road test.
Today we're working on a 72 Dodge Dart. We're going to be removing the Edelbrock carburetor and replacing it with the new Street Demon from Demon Carburation. First thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take and remove all of the attaching points for the carburetor, including the linkage, the fuel lines, and the vacuum hoses. Alright, now once all the attaching points are removed, we can go ahead and take the 4 carburetor stud nuts and washers off to be able to remove the carburetor from the engine. Once verified that all the hardware is removed, you're ready at that point to remove the old carburetor from the intake manifold, and you can take it off and just set it aside. Chrysler and Dodge applications have, if equipped with automatic transmissions, they have a Chrysler linkage stud for the kickdown, cruise control, and throttle cable. We'll now remove that from the carburetor so that we can install it on our new carburetor. Okay, now we're going to prepare to get the new carburetor out of the box, inspect it, and get ready for installation. Now in our application, we've chosen to use the 625 Street Demon with the polymer center section. We've got small 1 3/8" primary butterflies, the large goggle valve on the secondary side, 2 idle fuel mixture screws, electric choke, single fuel line inlet, and our traditional linkage that we'll be installing our kickdown pin on once we have the carburetor installed on the engine. Cast aluminum base plate, cast aluminum top section, polymer fuel bowl. The appearance of this carburetor is far different than the appearance of the Edelbrock in its place, and looks good on this engine. With the carburetor reinstalled and the mounting hardware in place and tight, we can start to attach our vacuum ports and linkages again. And we'll start here with attaching our PCV, reattach our choke wires, we'll install our Chrysler linkage for our accelerator and our transmission. Now with our linkage installed, we can go ahead and reattach our throttle cable, our transmission kickdown linkage, linkage return spring, washer and retaining clip for that linkage. We'll also reattach our throttle cable return spring and our cotter pin. Next we'll install the carb stud for the air cleaner, and we will check our throttle linkage for travel and binding. Everything there appears to be free and clear, so we will move into the startup process. Okay, we've already cranked the engine over a couple of times to prime the fuel system and get fuel in the carburetor bowl. We'll hit the accelerator once to make sure we have fuel in the engine, and we'll reach in and we'll start the engine. The fast idle is working, the electric choke is on working. We'll give it just a minute to build some engine heat, and we'll start making our adjustments. Fast idle just came off, so the coil has come up to temperature. Good throttle response. The idle has come down off the fast idle cam now, so we'll need to bring the idle speed up just a little bit. Now we'll move on to setting the idle mixture screws. They're located in the front under the bowl. Trying to lean it out a little bit, and as you can hear, the engine is trying to die, so we're going too lean. So we'll bring them out just a little bit more to richen it up so that the idle smooths out some. Adjustments on the carburetor seem to be pretty close out of the box. Put it in gear once just to make sure that the RPM stays up. Now we'll just walk around to the back and check our exhaust. No bad exhaust fumes and no smoke, so at this point we've got everything pretty close and we should be able to drive it to make sure of our final tuning. Before we go on our test drive, we're going to just check the initial engine timing, make sure that it's within specifications. From my experience with these carburetors, they usually like 12 to 14 degrees of initial timing. So I'm going to loosen the distributor lockdown clamp and adjust the timing up slightly just to get it set to where we like to have it. Now that we've got it at 12 degrees, we'll go ahead and tighten our distributor back down. And double check. And we're good.
I think it's awesome. Right out the gate, it does good. You know, just a few little tweaks that we did to it, which is normal for doing anything. I'm real impressed with it. We'll drive it up the road and see what y'all think. As far as just everyday driving, I'm real impressed with it.
I think that has a lot to do with the 1 3/8 primary butterflies and that triple stack booster that's allowing you to get better throttle response,
Right.
better booster vacuum signal.
Well, the throttle response is right on. I'm just easing off now like a normal car, you know, and it's right on. The way everything does, the fuel and everything. The biggest thing I like about it is no raw fuel at the rear. When you get something sounding good, it's hard to get the fuel mixture where it don't stink. And this one don't. If you want to step on it, a lot of them, when you start messing with the carburetor stuff, you stop. After you've done that, it starts getting all jumpy and carry on. Can't get no better than that. That's smooth right there. Right off the bottom.
And comes back to an idle when you come to a stop, no bobbling, no hesitation, no wanting to load up, which is the key thing.
Yep, that's the big thing right there.
Final inspection, just going over our linkage again, making sure all our vacuum tubes are hooked up, no fuel leaks, and put the air cleaner on and finish up this installation.